Thinking about selling your home care business? You should be, but there are some things that you need to know. In today's episode, I have special expert Jen Ramos to talk about the first steps when selling your home care business. What are the first steps to take when selling your home care business?
Thank you for asking this because I think a lot of business owners have no clue what the first step is. And I am going to tell you, or encourage you rather, the first thing you want to do is not go out and, talk to another business owner or go out and try to find a broker, not necessarily anyway, not just yet. But the first step is really to dig deep on what your next plan is and having a game plan post sale. If you were to sell your business, you really want to know what the next steps are because it is a very emotional process for 99.9% business owners out there. And especially if it's a labor of love, you've poured your blood, sweat, and tears into this business. It's not a very transactional thing for most business owners, although technically it is a transaction. So I would say really, really dig deep. Think about what your next strategy is, what your next phase of entrepreneurship is, if that's your next phase, or if it's retirement, what are you going to do in your retirement? Really have a strong understanding of what that looks like for you and your spouse. Because without a plan, you won't really have a why to get you to the finish line of creating a successful transition out of your business. It'll be very difficult for you and emotionally taxing on you. So I really think that's the first step when you start thinking of selling your business.
Love it. So making sure that we have that next step and it's not just this end all be all, knowing the next step in our journey. Do you have any tips
Right.
and advice for, it being a very emotionally attached thing when it comes to taking these steps to selling your business? Is there tips that you help people to kind of detach themselves from it?
Yeah, I think just understanding that you're passing this amazing thing that you created off to someone else to take and run with. That's your legacy. Like you've just created this business and it's run its course with you. And that's okay. Things, we evolve as humans. And so just understanding and accepting that you're hopefully at a time of transition where you're not burnt out with your business. Home care, it's difficult to say that because it is very, draining at times. But the bottom line is just understanding that you have run its course and that you've added the value you're wanting to add to that business. And now it's someone else's turn and you're passing the baton. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think just accepting that and then letting go, practicing letting go. The other thing is when you do, what helps is to find the right buyer, depending on what your motivation is to sell. And everybody has a slew of reasons why they're selling their business. It could be divorce, it could be illness, it could be a death, it could be just voluntary, like you're just done with the business, you want to move on. But just kind of coming to terms with what that is and then finding the right buyer to take it over for you. That's another important piece. Personal experience. I've sold a few businesses, and some of the buyers. I learned the hard way. Isn't really necessarily a buyer I would have chose out of the gates, but at the time it seemed right, and so it's just a really important thing to consider, and not just take anybody who's going to carry this baby forward for you. So yeah, that's what I would advise people.
So Jen, what's the best way for somebody to get a hold of you?
This is really tough, buying and selling businesses, and I'm so here to help. So if anybody feels they need some support around this, even just the exit strategy side of things and teeing up for a sale, please reach out anytime. I'm on all social media platforms. Major ones are LinkedIn for me, Jennifer Ramos with M&A Business Advisors, or Facebook, JR3 Consulting Group. Just reach out to my email address, jennifer@jr3consultinggroup.com. It's Jennifer with 2 N's. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and any support I can lend, I am happy to help.
You'll be smarter if you reach out to Jennifer. She's amazing.
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it.